So here is everything that I have gathered.
It's like a one. Like I need to do some sort of like transition with this.
August comes along.
I'm gonna do something really gross. We need to revive my sourdough starter. What do we think?
Heavy afternoons, September and its moon seem so far away, and I can't help but say, dear heart, come soon. I'm waiting for you. Now the days are so long till you come along. When winter is nigh and the tilt of its light, summer bids its farewell, and I'm under your spell, dear autumn. A chill is in the breeze.
Look guys, this is a very strange, cozy, quiet night for me. You guys just saw I got Cassian, our 5-month-old, down to sleep. The big boys, my 2 eldest, are at a sleepover, and Dominic is with a friend going to a football game. I have the whole house to myself and Cass for tonight and tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna go thrifting and go to lunch with a friend. We're gonna do some decorating and just like cozy activities tonight. So I was like, what should I do? Definitely gonna be calling my mom. By the time you guys are seeing this, I believe it will be September 22nd, which is the first day of fall, and I have been wanting to decorate for fall. I've been stealing everything from these 2 rooms, our dining room and our living room, to put into our family room that you saw last week, the makeover for that. So this room just looks a little bit weird because things don't really make sense. So I thought we would address it tonight without buying anything new. We're not going shopping, we're just going to my garage, my stash. So I hope I can give you guys some ideas and maybe you can decorate along with me. We're also gonna do something really gross. We need to revive my sourdough starter, and I wanna see if during this video, by the end of it, I can bake a loaf again. It's been, like, I haven't fed my sourdough starter in 4 months, probably. It's like moldy. Let's go ahead and start with that, so we can see if that's a fail or a success, and then we're gonna do some beautiful decorating. Can you see that? You see that black liquid on it? What do we think? Supposedly though, like, this isn't bad. Like, I'm gonna dump this, and then what I'm gonna do is skim the top layer off and get what's under it, like just a little bit, and add it to here. And then I'm gonna save this because I don't know if it's going to like work for sure. And I wanna have a little bit extra. I don't wanna throw everything away, but how do I wanna do this? I spoon this part off. Yucky. Touch it. This starter is like years and years old. Like, 5 or 6 years old. I got this starter from a friend who's been doing it for a long time, and I think she might have gotten it from a friend. So it's a good one. Like, I've given this starter to other friends, so I do have a backup that, like, at least they've kept theirs going, and I can get some from my friends, but I'd like to revive mine. We'll see. I'm trying to make sure that I don't touch it to the walls because that's where that like fluid was, and I don't want that stuff. And then this finger was gross, so I'm gonna use this finger. And I'm not measuring. I don't really measure too much with sourdough. My theory with this is I'm not gonna do too much in here because I'm sure this stuff is hungry. And so I don't want to have to feed it a ton of flour. So I'm just gonna do about that much. It's like a little bit less than I normally do, which is 1/3. Did I say that correctly? About 1/3 cup of starter in there. I'm adding 1 cup of flour and a 1/2 cup of water. I know a lot of you all were very interested in my sourdough process, and so I actually did make a sourdough how-to video back in the spring, and I'll just warn you, I don't really measure much. I make it real simple, so I'll link that down in the description. So I will report back to let you know if this rises. All right, let's collect my fall decor. It's somewhere in one of these boxes. I think it's that one. A lot of decor that's not like season specific in this like credenza cabinet in our dining room, and this just has like random, like this could be used for anything. So maybe I'll pull some of these things out too. All right, so here's everything that I've gathered. I have some candlesticks, just like an eclectic grouping. I saw a really cute picture on Pinterest with just like a grouping of eclectic colored candles. I mean, some of these are pretty used. And then all of these items are just things that I've thrifted over the years. Some of them recently. You guys just saw this one the week before last. And then this tray is like a beautiful tray that I thrifted for my bathroom, but it was getting kind of gross underneath it because like the water would just kind of pool under there. So I think it needs to stay out here. Some copper items that I thought would add some really pretty like fall colors. Some brass items as well. I think every year there is a new pumpkin at Target. So like these I got, I think 2 years ago. They're like the felted ones. I don't know. Last year it was like the rattan, like woven ones. This year I think it's like brass. I don't know. I have not been to Target yet actually. But I think I saw that somewhere, and it's just like every year. So you have to like buy the new pumpkin. Well, I am not this year. I'm not. I'm just going to use what I have. I might buy some pumpkins, like real ones at the store, the grocery store, but we're going to just use what we have. I'm going to anti-influence you that you need the new pumpkin. But I was feeling a little bit like kind of sad that all my stuff just like, it looks like what it was last year, like nothing new and exciting. So I did go into Pinterest and made myself a Pinterest board to kind of get some new, fresh ideas. One of the main things that I saw was like these big arrangements with like things like this that I actually showed you guys I got at an antique store very recently. So I got this one and this one, and then I have some eucalyptus that I dried last fall that I'm gonna pull out, and then some roses that I dried, and maybe we can make an arrangement. This is how my living room is looking right now. I should have fluffed those cushions, but that's real life for you. But I have just like stolen things from here for the other rooms, and it's kind of bare and just kind of boring. So I think that these things are going to really spice it up. I'm going to share some tips for arranging dried flowers because I definitely learned some things through doing this. But I also had a lot of time to reflect this weekend and just kind of reset a little bit, have a little bit of quiet time because I am always around my kids or like our friends together with our kids, and it's just a lot of noise. And so I really appreciated having a little bit of downtime this weekend. And there were 3 questions that I was realizing I was asking myself. The last question is one that I really haven't brought up since January, but I will explain it once we get to that one. So the first one is something I have talked about recently on the channel here, and that is a mindset of what areas of my life am I practicing? So I use this mindset a lot in motherhood, especially when I receive comments out and about how good my kids are or how not well behaved they are at times. I really just quickly remind people, thanks, we are practicing. And then I say the exact same thing to myself every day when things maybe don't go exactly according to plan, or I know that I could have done a better job doing something. But maybe practicing in motherhood is not the season that you are in, but we are all in a season in which we are an influence to others, even if we don't directly know we are influencing others. I think there's a saying that the 4 closest people around you are like, I'm going to mess this up, but you're like a conglomeration of those people. So how am I practicing and being a better influence to those around me? But definitely not in a way of trying to people please others or trying to compete against them, but I will talk about that in my next question. So over here is my summer decor, and you can kind of see the shift to autumn. And I think we're on a good track at least.
The second question that I was asking myself was, who am I trying to please? And this is a question that's passed around in Christian circles a lot, but I think that even in non-faith circles can be really helpful to think about.
I don't know about that. I feel like this is just like, it's like almost cracking up. They're like almost touching the ceiling. Yeah, that's not where they're gonna stay.
Okay, I'm gonna keep talking about those questions, but I did want to note, because this white square of art looks like absolutely nothing in the dark, but it has like texture on it. It's a really old DIY, and I love it for layering. It just kind of adds something to group things together, give things like a backdrop, but it looks so like it looks so random in this picture. Anyway, just had to address that. Okay, so back to question number 2, who am I trying to please? And I could also state this as something like, what voices am I listening to?
Kind of layering it like 1, 2, 3, and then 1. And then this kind of joins them together. I think that works. Maybe a book. Who needs a book? Yeah.
So some examples of some positive voices that I do want to listen to are God and the voices of my family, because I have a wonderful, beautiful family. But my eldest recently started kindergarten, and it is new territory for me not listening to the voices, even if they're just made up voices that I am making assumptions for these people, of other parents for my kid, like what he should be doing, activities that we should be doing, and just ways that our family lives a little bit differently.
In this digital era where we are inundated with these short little videos all the time of just random things that we could try, there is so much value in learning and dedicating some time into something where you actually can become an expert. And Craftsy allows you to do just that. A big thanks to Craftsy for being the sponsor of today's video. Craftsy is an online community for creatives. Members can find endless inspiration, advance their skills, and discover their new favorite hobby. Class topics include knitting, crocheting, baking, cooking, cake decorating, painting, sewing, drawing, and so many more. I was at the craft store recently, and the lady in front of me checking out said something like, why buy something for $7 when I can spend $99 to make it? But there is something so soothing about doing crafts, relaxing, especially as we enter into this like cozy season. I plan to get back into embroidery, something that I have dabbled with throughout the years. I find it so relaxing and enjoyable, and the classes on Craftsy's platform have helped me advance my skills. So I can't show you what I'm working on because it's for my mother, and it's part of a Christmas present for her. I'll show it to you after I give it to her. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link down in my description down below will get Craftsy Premium for only $1.49. That is pretty darn good. So thank you so much, Craftsy, for sponsoring today's video.
I do have one more question, heart question, that I will share with you guys, but I did want to address this space because I was struggling so hard of how to use these tall candlesticks and how to style next to my mirror. I don't know, I just was struggling because I wanted to put this large flower arrangement up here, and I've never had such a large piece over here, and I just could not balance it. So just showing the real life here.
Okay, I wanted more greenery. I didn't buy this. I just went outside and pruned it off of the rubber plant that we have that is getting a little too big. So this will actually like grow roots if I need to put some, it's getting the latex out. You do not want to get this stuff on your skin because it'll burn your skin. But if I put it in water, it will root, and then I have another plant. I'm like still wet because it just rained. Some books on this side. When in doubt, stack some books. This basket smells amazing because I have dried lavender in there. But I thought that I would take some of the ones that I didn't use for this arrangement and put in this like thrifted gathering basket that I have and put it up there. See if that looks good. Need something to add vertical.
There's like a one, like I need to do some sort of like transition with this one. No, not today.
Something that I found helpful when I was arranging these dried flowers is starting with the eucalyptus because it had the most leaves, and then going to a smaller stem and then a smaller stem, and then ending with the most delicate one. And that way I just didn't break as much of it, even though it is really just a tender process.
I'm going to run out of decor, but I want to address this coffee table. I need to clean it up because the dried flowers made a mess, but I want to keep this really simple, and then I have some new linens that I want, well, not new, because I said I'm not buying anything new, but I got this tablecloth over the summer, and it's like a summery color, but I think it really works for fall too, so I will show you that. But let's address this coffee table. I like keeping it in like groups of 3, so 1, 2, 3. There's nothing here right now because I stole it for the family room makeover, and I think I'm gonna keep this the same, but this stack of books is getting like very tall. So let's swap this out.
Coffee table books are one of my favorite things to thrift because I'm always doing things like this. I can easily change the color palette of this coffee table just by swapping out some of the books. So I brought in some of the fall colored ones that I had on my shelf and put those more summery colored ones onto the shelf.
I'm kind of feeling like there are so many florals around the perimeter that just a very simple coffee table is okay. But I might add in an extra book there, like going this way. Yeah, I think it needs it. I think I like this for the time being. Now let's address the dining room. Let's not address this rug that I still haven't found a new home for. I actually think I want to put it in my guest bedroom, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. This is the tablecloth. So if you guys saw the home tour of my parents' house, I showed that I had gotten a tablecloth for my mom. It was blue and white. It was this tablecloth though. So I got this one in more like neutral colors for me. It's just like orange. Now I haven't ironed it. I don't think you really need to though, because it's 100% cotton and it kind of looks good wrinkled, I think. So let's put this on here. We've had it on the table for a few weeks actually, but I just washed it. Isn't this tablecloth so beautiful? It reminds me of, well, it's Indian block prints, but it's a kind of like look for less from McGee & Co. So they had one on their website that was like dark brown, I saw, for fall even. So I'll link this one because it's definitely a lot cheaper on Amazon. Now that we have Cassian's chair at the table, I mean, normally he has a tray. I don't know what to do with this chair, so it's just like awkwardly hanging out over there. But what I do with the kids is I use these silicone placemats that have our mealtime blessing prayer on them, and so they work really well. I just make sure that they're like right up on the edge. That way, that's like where all the mess happens, I think, in our house at least. And then I have these plastic ones that I got at Home Goods recently, and they work really well because I can spray them off too, but the kids' cups don't like sit level on there, so we were just having too many spills, so we had to go back to these for them.
So you guys convinced me. I decided not to put Rub and Buff on this bowl that I got recently at the Goodwill bins. I do love it with all of its patina.
Now that I have orange on the table, I kind of want to add some orange to this side of the room. And I had these from a few years ago. They're just like these linen pillow covers from IKEA. And so I have some inserts that I recently got, down ones at the Goodwill bin. So I'm gonna put those in there. Loving this pillow situation. Am I allowed to make some more? I made this one last year, but I don't know. I think I just want more patterned pillows, and I don't have many patterned ones. I just have a lot of solid ones, but it's okay. We're gonna leave this as is, and we have one more spot to decorate. I almost forgot this one. I always pull this out in the fall, and Dominic hates it because it's a throw that's 100% wool, so it's a little bit itchy. I have tried washing it with vinegar as well as washing it with like fabric softener. So if anyone has any additional tips, would appreciate. But it did get a little bit softer, I will say. It did get a little bit softer, and it's beautiful. I really think it's a beautiful blanket, but it's a little itchy. My mom actually found this for like a few bucks at a garage sale. This is the last spot that I want to decorate before I call it a night, go to bed. It kind of ends up being like just a catch-all for like the kids stuff, because that's what happens. So I do need to leave it pretty like clear here, but I can decorate up here, and the napkins are very functional with the dining table here too. I've always had my grandmother's oil painting of the hay bale over on that spot, but then I switched it up and didn't realize I didn't leave a spot for it. And so I was thinking maybe here, let me just take off stuff. I should start with that. I was just excited to put that one up there. This one, you could switch it up. You could just have it not there. What about like a bunch of candlesticks here? No white. We're taking out all the white candles, replacing those. Be a green one here. When in doubt, add a pumpkin. Maybe, I don't know. I figured out what it was missing. Something organic. So I just stole some lavender from over there. I wish I had more. I'm gonna try to like forage some more things tomorrow, but it's getting real late and I need to go to bed because I'm sure that Cassian is not going to sleep tonight. Do you think, guys? But I will pick up in the morning and we'll do some reveal shots in the morning because this room gets the best morning light. And I will show some cozy reveal shots tomorrow night with hopefully a fresh loaf of sourdough. Morning sourdough starter. I was hoping that would be a little bit more dramatic. It has grown a little bit though, I can tell it's grown. So I think it's just gonna need some extra time, and then I might have to feed it again before I'm ready to bake it. Now I've been cooking my eggs in the morning because I am not a morning person. I don't like cooking in the morning, but little muffin top, silicone trays, 350 for 17 minutes, and it works. Yeah. We gotta get ready to go thrifting, guys. Oh my goodness. That's like his normal. He's either quiet, like silent, or very loud. Very excited about his yogurt. But I think I'm gonna end today's video with some clips of the styling that we did last night in the pretty morning light, and then I'll get some clips tonight in the candlelight as well. But I'm gonna go thrifting with my friend. We're gonna go out to lunch with this little man. We're gonna take him, and maybe that will be next week's video. So make sure you come back for that one. Subscribe, give this video a like. That always helps support the channel. Let me know if you enjoy like this kind of vlog style decorating. Yeah, I think it was pretty fun. And I'll show you if that sourdough loaf turns out. Probably tomorrow. I think it's gonna need another feed, but I'll add a clip in if it works.
Okay, honestly, it feels like a dishonor to talk over one of my favorite songs, so I'm going to make this real short, but I wanted to address the last question that has been on my heart. Number 3 is reflecting on my word of the year. So I shared this back in January, and I will link that video down in the description below, but pretty much choosing a word as a theme for working on this year. And so we only have 3 more months left of the year, which is just crazy. And so I invite you to also ask yourself that question: how have you grown in your word of the year? My word of the year this year was rest, and the year before that was rhythm, and I have grown a lot in both of those. I might expound on that in a future video coming up, but go back and check out that video if you are totally confused what I'm talking about. Now enjoy the last little bit of these clips and this song.
Until darkness light, summer bids farewell, and I'm under your spell.
went to the thrift store